Hi, and welcome to PoliSwift, your source for quick summaries covering U.S. political legislation. PoliSwift is a nonpartisan content creator helping people keep up with new bills that become laws. Want to dig deeper? Find links to this law from congress.gov and govtrack.us in the description below. H.R. 7440, or the House of Representatives bill for the Hong Kong Autonomy Act, impose sanctions on foreign individuals and entities that materially contribute to China's failure to preserve Hong Kong's autonomy. This is a controversial issue because Hong Kong is geographically part of China, but their legal and economic systems are largely separate. Hong Kong does offer protections for some of the same civil rights that we recognize here in the United States, a big one being freedom of speech, while the Communist Party of China doesn't. Let's review a little history for context. In the year 1984, no, not that 1984, this 1984, the United Kingdom and China signed the Sino-British Joint Declaration. This treaty set July 1st, 1997 as the date the UK would hand Hong Kong over to China. The document, signed by then Chinese Premier Zhao Ziyang and UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, also described the sovereign and administrative arrangement between Hong Kong and China, calling it the One Country, Two Systems principle. In short, the One Country, Two Systems principle meant that Hong Kong would not practice the socialist system used in mainland China. Instead, Hong Kong's established capitalist system and way of life would go unchanged for 50 years or until 2047. The reason this issue is controversial is because China has disputed the treaty, calling it a, quote, historical document that no longer had any practical significance. The UK, on the other hand, upholds the position that the document is a legally valid treaty to which it was committed to upholding. Unfortunately, this leaves Hong Kong in a precarious situation and the US walking on eggshells with two global superpowers. While China is a major trading partner with the US, the United Kingdom is one of our closest allies. We did fight alongside them in a couple of world wars after all. As the US often does, we used our economic weight to try and influence the geopolitical situation. So let's dive deeper and see what this new law actually entails. H.R. 7440, or the Hong Kong Autonomy Act, has three specific components. First, it directs the State Department to make an annual report to Congress. The report will focus on information about foreign individuals and entities that materially contribute to China's failure to comply with the Sino-British Joint Declaration. This includes foreign financial institutions that knowingly conduct a significant transaction with those identified in the report. Second, it allows the president to impose property and visa blocking sanctions on individuals or entities that are named in the report. This includes specific sanctions on financial firms, like prohibiting them from receiving loans from U.S. financial institutions. The third part of this bill allows individuals, entities, and financial institutions to be excluded from the report for reasons like protecting an intelligence source. It also allows the president to waive or terminate sanctions, but Congress can override a waiver by passing a joint resolution of disapproval. Now, for all you political junkies out there, let's follow the path this bill took through our legislative process, or how a bill becomes a law. H.R. 7440 was introduced in the House on July 1st, 2020 by Democratic Representative Brad Sherman from California's 30th District. Along with Representative Sherman, the bill had 11 co-sponsors, including 7 Republicans and 4 Democrats. I guess bipartisanship does still exist in 2020. Looking at you, COVID relief checks. After being introduced in the House, the bill then ventured through 4 committees. These include the Rules Committee, Ways and Means, Financial Services, the Committee on the Judiciary, and Foreign Affairs. After being discharged from the committees, the bill was passed by the House on July 1st, 2020 without objection. Since the vote was passed without objection, no record of individual votes were made. The next day, the bill went to the Senate, where it passed by unanimous consent without amendment. Since the vote was by unanimous consent, no record of individual votes were made here either. After passing the Senate, the bill was sent to the President's desk. A little less than 2 weeks later, H.R. 7440 was signed into law on July 14, 2020, becoming Public Law number 116-149. Government in action. That about wraps it up for H.R. 7440, or the House of Representatives bill for the Hong Kong Autonomy Act. Thanks for being an informed citizen. Leave a comment and let us know about aspects of this bill that you wish we covered in more detail. Tap the like button if you find our videos useful, and subscribe to stay up to date with new legislation enacted by our government.